I love food. I love it.
I'm Jordan A. Smith.
I'm Dean Lawrence.
And we are back. This is Talk Back for Teens, and the topic for the day is food. And so my next question was, do you guys eat dinner with your families? Do you guys eat at a table?
At our family, we all eat together at a table every night. Like, there is no choice in that. You don't eat on the couch, ever. Like, you eat at a dining room table in the dining room as a family. If my brother's out about with his friends, we call him, he comes home, he has dinner with us. It's a really important family time for us. It allows us to connect, talk to each other about the day, and I really enjoy it because you get to see all your siblings and your family. And it's a time for us to be all together and to share and learn about each other. So
Same thing with my family, but except we make it like more like focused on the weekends or like a Sunday afternoon or something like that, because the fact that like all my siblings that I have in my house, everyone's involved in something, whether it's sports, after school club, drama. My sister's involved in Glee Club. I have a brother who works and he does sports. I have my other brother who does sports, and I do sports as well as far as working. So it's just like everyone's busy running, and it's like you don't have everyone actually in the house at the same time until like 8, 9 o'clock, because of the fact that everyone's so involved in schoolwork. So you make it so that like as far as the weekend, you have more time to be together. So it's like, Sunday afternoon, we're all coming home from church, we're all together, food's cooked, and we all sit down, we eat, we talk, and it's like she said, it's a time to spend with your family, see how things are going. We always get like a good laugh. Someone like finds some weird new corny joke, and everyone's just laughing about it. I think it's like very important to eat food with your family, even if like in our case it's like once or twice a week. You definitely get a lot out of that.
I think it may have an effect, may play a part as how many calories you consume in a day, or how healthy your relationship is with food in general. If you're eating with family, or if you're eating, with friends, someone you can talk to, someone you can eat, talk, think, reflect. How do you feel about eating in front of TV? You guys don't eat in front of TV at all?
Super Bowl Sunday, that's about it. I'm not kidding. It's something that's just, it's not encouraged, We have pets, I have dogs. Every once in a while, it's like that one special thing you get to do that you don't ever get to do. So it's kind of a cool thing, but generally, yeah, it's at the table. Even if it's a lunch, a granola bar, a snack, you're doing something, it's at the table.
When I was a lot younger, there was, more strict rules. We were always together at the table for dinner, and we had to at least be in the kitchen if we were eating. But, ever since I was, probably in my teens, it's it's never been that strict as far as pretty much if I want something to eat, I go grab it, especially a granola bar, run upstairs in my room with it or something like that. And so what effect do you think that has had on you?
It's like routine in a lot of ways. Even when I'm like traveling, because I do a lot of travel for sports and stuff, we're still eating at a table. Like, I know it's weird. Like, I don't like eat on the bed of the hotel room. I'm like at the little table or whatever. So I guess it's like, routine. Okay. I think it's also because I'm kind of I like to have things mostly organized. So I don't want to get a mess anywhere. So I think crumbs, granola bar, couch, bed, vacuum. One more thing I have to do.
Yeah, if you want to eat something, dining room or the kitchen. I don't want any crumbs there. Anything, mainly it's for our benefit because we're the one that clean the house. So it's like, you want to get crumbs here and you want to, have fun sweeping it up and cleaning it up later. And just today, before I came here, I ate a bag of Cheez-Its on the couch. Not supposed to, but by myself, with just me and my little sister watching TV, eating a bag of Cheez-Its on the couch. So like a little small bag of Cheez-Its, Yeah. Of course she knocked them out my hand, so I see why, she's at the table, ended up picking up every little piece up and made sure I came and swept the spot so I didn't leave any crumbs behind. It gives you like some boundaries of where to, keep messes and how to maintain stuff.
The effect I think it has on me is naturally when I think of food, I think of TV. I consider myself a busy person, so food and TV are my quiet time. That's my time to be alone. I don't have to work on anything. If I don't want to talk on the phone, I'm not talking on the phone. So that is my relaxation time. I eat to no end in front of that TV. So for whatever that 30-minute show, that is my time.
I just try to eat as much as I can because because I don't gain any weight. You know, there's no metabolism. It's like it's like
unfair.
I know, right?
If I'm on the road, I might have something in my hand. If I'm in front of the TV, I'm perfectly fine eating there. At the dinner table, we do a lot of weekends. I sit down with my family. A lot of weekends, I sit down with my family, but it's not mandatory. It's not like you have to do this, and so it's pretty much wherever I am, whenever I want to eat. I'm eating. Also, I eat very fast. I thought it was interesting when you're talking about eating slow, because I eat very fast. I know when I was younger, when I was very young, my dad, I don't remember this, but I know I was told this a lot. My dad used to get like the big old tablespoons, and
yes.
he used to feed us oatmeal, and like he used to like just feed it in our face. You know what I mean? and so I remember coming up. It's like I have a bowl of oatmeal right here, and it's just like you could count the two, and the food is gone. And that's one thing I've been working on in the more recent times, trying to develop a pattern or a habit of specifically watching what I eat and when I eat, and how I eat. Just the interesting dynamic. I'm listening to you guys, and it's like my life
Total
is
opposite.
opposite.
That's why we're on the complete opposite sides of the table, guys. My brother is actually the same way. Like when he was younger, like he doesn't have that metabolism anymore.
And don't you just wonder how that feels, like to be able to eat and eat to no end and never
gain weight, and
I-
that is so unfair, especially for women, because we eat like a fry, you gain like 50 pounds, and then guys that eat it, and it's just like nothing.
So now that you're trying to monitor your food more,
As far as calories is concerned, I don't have a basis to go by. You know what I mean? I see the the 2,000 calorie diet, but and then it could just be lazy, but I don't have a model to go by as far as so it's like I'm just used to just eating whatever, and so right now I'm just monitoring. Okay, I'm gonna eat something in the morning. Nothing else in the day until during the afternoon, and then I'm gonna try to have a solid meal at night, and kind of see how the the effects of my body, trying to get in a pattern, a routine, just to kind of put some limits and put some organization to my food intake. But I think it's just a better way to be healthy, just a better way to as I'm growing and developing, I want to be just more cognizant of how my lifestyle changes. I know that it's not causing me to gain weight. I don't know the effect that it's having on maybe my blood pressure or my diabetes or cholesterol or different things like that. I haven't had any problems with that in the past, but just
definitely don't want it.
Right, don't want it in the future. Right.
A lot of smartphones nowadays do that whole tracking for you. I actually have the program on my cell phone because, I'm a female and you can't have a metabolism that runs forever. So, and a lot of coaches, for example, they give diet plans for you to follow. And I don't mean like tell you what to eat every day, but they'll say, make sure you're having an apple with your lunch. Back to the phones. They track. You can write down everything. You can simply scan it with your cell phone, like the label. It will tell you exactly. There are tons of apps.
I actually have MyFitnessPal.
Yep.
And you can. It's just
you scan it,
take a picture, and
For me, it's energy. That's one thing I do realize. That one effect that I don't have a lot. A lot of times I find myself very lethargic. I eat a lot. And I'm not gaining any weight, but I don't feel as energized during the day. It's kind of like, I wake up in the morning and I'm tired, and I go through the whole day, and I'm just tired. I don't really have to get up and go. And so I'm thinking maybe if I cut out some certain kinds of foods and increase on my fruits and vegetables, and just make sure I'm monitoring the portions that I have, it might help as far as that's concerned. Is there any peer pressure associated with?
There kind of is. Like, especially if you were like a part of a sport, even if you're new to the sport, you just joined, don't know any of the people on the team, halfway through the season, you guys are gonna feel like family. Someone brings in chips, ooh, let me get some of that. Ooh, share some of that. Can I get a bite of that? It's sort of like, it's there. You want it. You don't have to be hungry, but it's like, I like those. I like those kind of chips. Let me have some right now. So it's just like, I could be like completely full. Oh, let me get a chip. So when you have like games and you're waiting for them to start and you're just sitting around with your teammates, just like, let's go to the store real quick.
Yeah.
Or especially when you have that convenience. I was reading like this whole article thing, and it's sort of like that's why, like, one of the reasons why America is like one of the largest countries is because the fact that we have access to food no matter where we go. Anywhere you go, you have grocery stores, you have different kind of department stores where they have food. You have malls, and they have all different types of restaurant chains inside the malls. You can go out and go to a ball game, and they're making hot dogs and stuff. No matter where you go, it seems as though you always have access to food. And so you can be in the middle of nowhere, and there's an apple tree. You always have isn't always the good food. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if we didn't have as much access to it, would we actually eat more of it?
Why in heavens is the good food so expensive? Like, have you ever went to Wegmans or whatever your local grocery store is, and you see the organic section, and you really want to do right by your body, you really want to treat yourself well, and it's like $7 for a head of lettuce. Like, what? Why?
Oh, that's part of the problem is a lot of organic farmers are local small business or corporations, and it's really, really hard for them to be able to afford and have a lot of productions. They do it through like local public markets.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up because that is a very, very good supplement. If you are into healthy food and you want to really do right by your body, there are local public markets, and the price is like completely slashed from retail price. It's good, and you're getting like multiples of whatever you need. Also, final question. You guys talked about family, but how's it like when you eat with friends? Or do you even eat alone when you're not eating with your family?
When it's not with family, just depends on where I am. You always, as I said, you always have access to food no matter where you go. So if you're like on a car ride and you're by yourself, of course you're eating food by yourself. If you're out at a rrestaurant, not many people go to a restaurant by themselves. I mean, it's more of a social place. Sometimes you do, just treat yourself. But most of the time you go out with some friends, you go out with some family, you go out with someone to go hang out with. And as you eat with those people. So it's sort of like what I was saying, where the slower you eat, the faster you get full. So it's sort of like while you're like how you're saying, eating and talking. While you're eating and talking, that's actually slowing down how fast you eat your food, because you're not going to be, hold on, give me like 5 minutes, let me chow this down, and then we have a conversation. It's more like, take a bite, how was your day, blah, blah, take another bite, and keep going. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like, already right there, you may not be aware of it, but you're slowing down your intake of the meal you're eating.
I agree with Jan Snake. It's definitely a social aspect, whether it's with your family or for us, we have a lunch group every day. We have a group of 5-10 girls. Yeah. And Tito.
And Tito. Baby Tito.
And we all sit together and we have lunch, and it's a fun experience, even if we're not eating, even if we have to work on projects, just having that like emotional relationship with the good friends really reminds you, man, I'm having a terrible day, but you just said something hilarious and it just made my day. It's very social. It's something that can make your day. Somebody brings some cake for their birthday that you spent hours making, or something simple like, do you guys want to share some carrots? I have carrot sticks. Does anyone want some? And it's just that connection with friends builds something even stronger. I
know there's been times where you may not even get to your lunch because of the fact of how much fun we're having and the conversation. I mean, someone will bring, they'll have their sandwich and goldfish. My friend Gabby brings goldfish all the time. I'm always eating her goldfish.
Yes, we are.
You can bring granola bars or carrot sticks, and it's sort of like I stopped and noticed one day that all our food is sort of pushed toward the middle of the table, and everyone's just pick and choose there. Oh, let me get a carrot. I want that. And it's just like,
does anyone have a spoon?
Yeah. Can I borrow your straw? Because we're doing this little snacking here and so much talking, I didn't even eat lunch. We're so involved in interaction that it's like, you don't really actually have time to consume that whole meal by yourself.
So there's definitely a community and friend aspect when it comes to food. It's more of an asset to the relationship you guys are having.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is Talk Back Routine. I'm Jordan A. Smith. This is Dean. We'll be back.
Hey, I'm Colleen Surek, and I'm a registered dietitian.
How important is proper nutrition to living a healthy lifestyle?
Having proper nutrition is really important to having a healthy lifestyle. It has a really important role in helping us live longer and live happier lives, having better quality of our lives. For instance, if you're eating too many calories than you need, you can gain weight and become overweight, and then, you can become obese too, and that can lead to diseases like type 2 diabetes, some types of cancers, and put you more at risk for heart disease. If we're not getting all the vitamins and minerals we need, especially during your years, like your teenage years. Those are the most important years to really, or some of the most important years to really get great nutrition. You can have some health effects that are not so good. So if you have iron deficiency anemia, you're not getting enough iron in your diet. You might be tired, you might be weak, your immune system might not be working as well, so you could be feeling more sick, and you might not be doing as well in school or at work. So diet is really important, because if you're tired and you're not feeling like you're successful, that can influence how much you're enjoying life and how happy you are.
What is your opinion on fad diets? Like, for example, the 7-day cleanse diet, because that seems to be really big nowadays.
Yeah, cleanses are super popular this year. That's really interesting. One of the most important things I think about nutrition is realizing that there isn't a magic bullet. If there was something that could make everyone really, thin and really healthy, we wouldn't have this obesity epidemic in the nation that we're having. So fad diets can be a little bit risky because they can prey on people being desperate, and they're short-term kind of quick fixes, and you have to think about the safety too. When someone's gaining weight, they may not feel good about themselves. So maybe their clothes are too tight, they're trying to avoid people that they knew when they were thinner, so they're not feeling very good about themselves. Then they see some advertisement, and it says you can lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. And that sounds awesome, so why not? But the thing is that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So, and maybe you could try that for a while, and then if you don't change other things about your life. So say I'm a freshman in college, and I've gained the freshman 15. And then I want to lose that weight, so I see an advertisement and I buy some product. And maybe it was a lot of money because some of them are really expensive. And then I take it and I lose weight, but I didn't start exercising, I didn't change the way I eat, it'll all come back. So, and some people eat when they're stressed out, so if you don't change that, different ways to deal with your stress, then that can help contribute to gaining all the weight back too. If they're safe, that's really important too, because supplements aren't regulated by the FDA. There's been some research that's shown that what it says on the label when it's tested in a lab isn't really in there in those amounts, or it may have other things in there that it doesn't say on the label, or one of the things that they say is really great isn't even in the product. There are a couple organizations. One is the National Science Foundation, and one is the United States Pharmacopoeia Convention, and if it says USP or NSF on the bottle, that means it's been tested and everything it says on the label is actually in the product.
What are some of the key aspects to proper nutrition?
There are a lot of really important things about proper nutrition, but I would say moderation is really important, and having a variety is really important, and also being aware of what you're doing. So focusing on moderation, knowing that all foods can fit into a diet, it's just the amount and how often. A lot of times I work with people who are trying to lose weight, and they'll be really restrictive and maybe just try to eat like fruits and vegetables for, a couple days and they're successful, but then they go to a party and then they have a cookie. And then it's like, well, I already ruined today, so I might as well have a bunch of cookies and then swing by Burger King on the way home. So, that could have been prevented possibly if they had a cookie here and there versus, trying to be so restrictive and then the whole snowball effect going the other direction. It's important to know why we're eating and why we're eating the amounts we are. So are we eating because we're hungry, or are we eating just because all of our friends are eating? Are we eating because we're watching TV and we want something to snack on? So that's important to think about too. And say I'm eating pizza with a bunch of friends and I have 2 pieces and I'm pretty full, but then everybody gets another piece. So I'm like, well, I could have another piece. Everybody else is doing it, even though I might have not have needed the other piece. So paying attention to why we're doing the things we do. And then variety is really important because have you ever heard them talk about eating a rainbow of fruits and vegetables? They talk about that. I've seen it in Wegmans before, but it talks about all the different colors of fruits and vegetables because they're different. The different color pigments provide different nutrition. The way to be really healthy, if you want to make changes, is to make lifestyle changes. So, start small. If we're not getting all the vitamins and minerals we need, especially during your years, like your teenage years. Those are the most important years to really, or some of the most important years to really get great nutrition.